Hello, friends. My name is Brett Scott, and I'm from Workshopping Humanity. And today I am here to interview some people that are a part of TLOC's production's newest film, The Cognac at Indy 500. We have Alex Helmer, the director, here, as well as Jack Wheeler and Ron Littman. Um, and I'm gonna ask some questions for you guys today. First, I'm gonna start with Alex. What should people? Why? Sorry, let me fix that. Why should people set aside time to watch the Cognac at Indy 500?
Yeah, so I think because it's kind of a very kind of personal journey that I tried to kind of reach out to kind of audiences. It's not something that kind of will feel, at least it's not designed to feel kind of disconnected. It's something, especially during the holidays, that is intended to kind of touch you and to make you think about topics that are so universal to not just just the human species in general. And it's also just to witness artists who aren't in the mainstream, who are trying to kind of break their way in. And it was a smaller production, but it all of our hearts kind of as much as kind of any Hollywood thing you would see. So
I'm going to set this question for the actors this time. What originally drew you guys to the script?
Jack?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I say that what drew me to the script the most is it's very real, I guess. It's not really generic in the way it does it. It doesn't. Alex has talked about this before, but it doesn't go through the normal idea of grief and sadness. It's more of the beforehand of that. What happens before there's death and grief, and it really it's just very real. The questions that it poses are super intriguing and they make you think, and that's what this movie really does. It gets you thinking. It draws you in with the way it's so layered and complex, and that's what really drew me in.
Nice. And how about you, Ron?
For myself, it was so appealing to play a character who has no filters. We go through life and we go, oh, I feel this, but I can't show this to the people around me. But here's a character who doesn't care. He's on his deathbed. So he'll say and feel whatever is happening in that moment. And that's terrific for an actor. I mean, to just be able to let it go and be cantankerous and I don't, all the words that come into my head that, someone you don't want to be around on one level because it's so raw. And that's, and plus I need to say this. I just saw the film for the first time. I was really laughing, Alex, the humor that is underneath this tragedy it really works. You made it work, man. It's just really, and I didn't expect that. It's not like neither of us were playing for laughs, but there are certain exchanges that are just really funny. I laughed. And I mean, I'm looking at myself, so I'm going, oh, but it was funny. It really. So, yeah, that's a.
Yeah, no,
it's all credit to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Play the game is freaking though.
It is such a sharp screenplay. That's the biggest takeaway I had from this. It's just how natural the dialogue is, but at the same time, it's all so smart and witty. Every line, I was like, wow, there's so much talent there, Alex. There's so much talent there.
Thank you
it's
so much.
Incredible. So I guess I have to ask you, since we've obviously collaborated in the past before, what was it like to direct your first film after all these years of watching movies? And do you have any sort of influences from the films that you've watched that you've translated into this final work?
Sorry, I broke up for a bit. Was that about inspirations?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you what it's like directing your first film, and then are there any influences from the films that you've watched in the past that have influenced your film now?
Yeah, so first off, kind of directing my first film, obviously kind of it was a learning process throughout. I think that was the best part was that the entire kind of journey was a learning process. In that, and these guys, everyone from Ron, who's been in the industry for so long, and Jack, who's just, kind of making his way in. Everyone has something to learn, and I think that's why the final product was it was what it was, is because all of us knew and cooperated with with each other in that regard. And then influences, I've talked about this ad nauseum. Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon, which is, I contend, the most beautiful movie ever made. From an aesthetic point of view, obviously when we got the location is very important to this film. And when we were able to get what the Woodrow Wilson house, I knew that I was going to be able to kind of fulfill my life goal and trying my best Kubrick. And so his films are able to kind of combine so much of what makes a movie, all the different departments and everything coming together. That's what I love about his movies, and specifically Barry Lyndon is an example of that. Is that so much comes together to make every single frame. And then thematically, My Dinner with Andre, which is Randy Gregory, Wallace Shawn, just two guys talking, two vastly different viewpoints. But it's not like one of them says, "Hey, I like this." The other person says, "Oh, I don't like this." It's not like that. You learn so much throughout kind of their life experiences, which I think is, what, how humans operate and how they learn. And that film does such a good job of displaying that. And then Hannah and Her Sisters as well, which I know, Brighton, you've talked about that with me, and just the existential journey that Woody Allen's character goes on in regards to kind of him kind of realize like being aware of his own mortality and trying kind of and coming to terms with that, and coming to terms with all the religious implications of it and how to deal with it.
Yeah, awesome. I can definitely see all of that in the final work for sure. Absolutely. And then for Jack and Ron, can you tell us about your characters in the film and kind of how you got inspired to play these characters and what you took away from playing these characters? We can start with you, Jack.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess I'm a pretty young actor myself, so I don't have, I suppose, not really a ton of inspirations, and I guess in terms of like acting, but what am I trying to say here? I really, oh God, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat your question?
Well, if I could just interject myself, I remember you and your dad talked about kind of like your own. I know this isn't kind of like a film or media kind of inspiration, but your own lives and how they kind of drew you in. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I more so just was asking if you could tell us just like a bit more about your characters in the film and kind of what inspired you to give the performances that you gave.
Okay.
That can come from any sort of inspiration from real life or inspiration from film or anything like that. I feel like that is I'm just interested to see kind of what you drew from.
Okay. Yeah. So the character of Nathan he's very, at the beginning, he's very, proud, and he has, a very like specific way of presenting and holding himself, and he kind of strays away from showing emotion. But, as the film goes on, he grows more vulnerable, and his true feelings and his love for his grandfather, who's played by Ron, is like, it's drawn out, and we really get to see more of that. And Alex helped me a lot with the acting and the journey of that character, and helped me really, see his character. And I'd really say what, inspired me to play Nathan was, I don't know, it's just, grabbing like it's just all these different things, and, the way people act. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I just acted him, just played the character.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what about you, Ron? What was some?
Well, there are a lot of attractive things about the character, but death is some heavy stuff. And when you're when you know you're dying, when you know those moments before death, and you have nothing except that which is you. You know what? That's what Buddy goes through. First, he tells Jack, "This is not your business. Death is your business is life. Go out and live. My business is to look around and see, this has been my life. What is my worth?" And you know, he's not very happy about that, because he's hasn't been a very good person at all. But at the same time, you know, what is it? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We come into this world alone. We leave alone with our thoughts. That's, you know, what an opportunity to play somebody like that, which is, I hate to say, not too far around the corner from where I am. And, you know, who knows? But that's, you know, that's what really attracted me to this character.
Awesome. I have to ask this for you, Alex. Where did you discover your actors at? Like, was there a casting call for this? Or
yeah, no, there was. The audition process was pretty extensive. A lot of kind of it was I was going between like 15, 16-year-old boys to like 70 to 80-year-old men constantly, like in terms of who we were auditioning. It was like a weird paradox, like a weird juxtaposition of auditions. But I think both of these guys, Jack specifically, once I really wanted to get him. Once I kind of I saw kind of his past work, and then he auditioned, I knew Jack was the guy for the role. Ron was a later kind of, because he auditioned kind of late in the process. So I thought, you know, I had my eyes on someone else, but then Ron came along and I was like, man, this guy, he doesn't just understand kind of the character, but is able to kind of embody the range of kind of emotions. Because obviously Buddy, like Ron said, is not such a great guy. But it's so important to allow the audience to both connect to him and empathize with him at the same time, because, you know, he is at the end of the day a human being. And Ron was able to do that incredibly well and make Buddy such a real character.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I love that. And this is a question I have for all three of you. I think this is a very interesting question, because this is what relates to Workshopping Humanity, my panel, my site, is how does the film resonate with you personally? Because this is a very personal story, as Alex mentioned at the beginning of the of our interview. And I was wondering how this story means, because I'm sure it means differently to all three of you because of the stages of your life that you're in. So we can start with Alex, and then we'll go Jack and Ron. Just if you explain a little bit of like how this story resonates with you personally.
Yeah, I mean, so the reason I kind of made the film is because of the questions I've had in my life for so long that are so universal to everyone. You know, I was a kid, you know, I was a pretty weird kid. I would sit, you know, lay down in my bed and just think about the fact that, you know, one day I'm going to go to sleep, and it just, you know, it's not going to be there. And, you know, and I think that's it's so universal, obviously, for just human beings to have that feeling. And so, and then kind of growing up, being surrounded by kind of death, whether that's my granddad, where I wasn't so close with my granddad, but I was able to see his death through my mom's eyes and see her reaction, gave me so much that I put into this film in terms of the pre-grieving process, in terms of the questions that you have to ask yourself before it actually happens. And then, you know, I'm 22 now, and still, you know, these questions are, still there. And so I think this film is so important in that sense, because, you know, it's so universal, at least I hope. If you don't think about death constantly, I envy you. So
yeah, absolutely. And how about you, Jack? What was kind of what you took away from this personally?
Yeah, I mean, personally, a lot in the film that's discussed, it really, like, I sympathize with it, because a lot of the religious questions and just questions about life and death in general, I mean, they're really, you know, I think all the things that are discussed in the film have probably been thought by almost everybody, and it just really, like, they stick with you. But then, you know, at the end, it's such a beautiful moment. I mean, really, all there's all these questions, but at the end of the day, you know, you just kind of have to just hold each other and just, there's not really all much you can do about, you know, the uncertainty of a lot of things, and you just have to just embrace. And yeah, it's really beautiful.
Absolutely, absolutely. How about you, Ron?
Well, for me, I hope people learn how difficult it is to be honest with each other. And, you know, we go through this life trying to be honest, but we're not. Unfortunately, the time when we're the most honest is right at the end. So I hope the message is do it before then. You know, come to your make amends or whatever buddy feels so bad that he wasn't able to do. You should do it so that you don't get to that end point and go, I've lost my chance.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a great takeaway from the film. I really think that's beautiful. And then, Alex, what's gonna be next for you? What's your next project? Because I mean, now you're just going.
Yeah. So I this is kind of my first film. Obviously, it takes, especially with a heavy drama like this being your first film, both from, you know, a direction standpoint and a screenwriting standpoint. It's you know, there's a lot that goes into it. And then I just finished production on my second film, Old Man, which is a horror movie, which I can't wait to release. Very different from this one, but also, you know, has similar ideas. And I want to also kind of, I just want to delve deep into different genres, you know. If you know me, you know kind of my love for movies and my love for kind of different genres and everything and different filmmakers. And so I just want to, at the end of the day, you know, put me out there, you know, and put my personality on the screen, because as an artist, the kind of, that's my job, is to kind of is to do that. And so I hope in my future work, I'm able to kind of you know, whatever it is, you know, make you know, just relate to people and yeah.
Awesome. And so then I have one final question for all of you guys. If there is one thing that someone can take away from this film and from your impact on the film, what would that be? So, you know, for Alex as a directing standpoint, for you guys as an acting standpoint, there's one thing that someone can take away from your role in the film. What would you want that to be? We can start with Alex.
Ooh, that's tough. I think that, you know, I think one thing you can take away is that whatever stage you are in your career, it's always best to be open to new ideas, to be open to everyone, despite, you know, whatever their role is on the film. I love to, you know, on my sets, I love to talk to everyone, wherever they are, you know, and just, you know, see how they're interpreting things, see what they think. Because as a director, you're constantly your job is to surround yourself with such, you know, people with better ideas than you have. And so I think as a director, just listening to everyone, as well as kind of when you're same thing with when you're working with actors, at a certain point very early on, they're going to know the characters better than you will. And you have to listen, and you have to kind of realize that, you know, and I think you know, once you see the final product, or you see kind of what that their vision is, you're going to be wowed.
Nice, awesome. How about you, Jack? What would be one thing you want to take away?
Yeah, I'd say one thing to take away from this film and my role in it is just you know, I guess just I don't know, kind of just like shed away, like, you know, pride and all these things that might hold us back from really just saying how we truly feel and just expressing our real emotions, and to, you know, let those go away and just like live, just like, you know, just really, yeah.
Absolutely. And how about you, Ron? What do you take away?
I hope people take away how well the film is put together. All the elements are perfectly placed where we are, the environment, the lighting, the cinematography, great actors, what can I tell you? But it's all there. It's just, you know, I say, you know, it's really a really good film.
absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
Thank you.
I told you this yesterday, Alex. Blown away by this thing. Was like not expecting it to be as good as it was. To be completely honest with you, and you guys are absolutely terrific in it. And you guys should all be proud of your work here because it's remarkable. I really think it's something special, and I'm really excited to see your path in film because I mean you're really doing it. I'm proud of you. So
thank you, Brad.
It was really great. And
Thank you
you guys
very
so
much.
much. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with me. Because I am a starting kind of up and comer page too, so I really do appreciate you guys talking with me, and I really hope that my questions were insightful. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.